You guessed it right. Today I'm going to talk about water. As a gastroenterologist, when I ask patients, how much water do you consume? The answer is typically this: not enough. But let's talk about how the stomach works and how water can interfere with that. The stomach is a little bag. When we eat, it becomes full of acid. Its job is to cleanse the food and help with digestion. After the food passes through the stomach takes a nap till the next meal. But what happens when we are having a sip of water, the stomach is now functional again, become full of acid. Now, with those who have a small problem with the valve between the food pipe and the stomach, we call this hiatal hernia, which is fairly common in the setting of epidemic of being overweight and obesity. Now, what happens is the water and acid start finding their way up in the esophagus, creating irritation or esophagitis, and the person can have the feeling of heartburn, or typically they may have only indigestion and nausea. But what happens is the person gonna have another sip of water which washes the acid down. And in fact, it gives the person a good feeling. But then what? They make more acid and it comes up, irritate again, and repeating its cycle. The problem with water is not just limited to the stomach and acid, but also there's another big problem it creates. Now, the person always have dry mouth, and when I talk on the phone, they cannot. They have to have a sip of water to talk on the phone. And then they interpret that dry mouth as thirst, and they keep aggravating the situation. The dry mouth hopefully gonna go away in a couple of weeks after we stop that habit. The patients usually ask, how much water is enough? And my answer is this: trust this. Whoever made this body, whether you believe in God or nature, was much smarter than we think we are, and put something here called thirst center. Just trust this. If you think that since on internet said water is good for you, you know more than this smart system, you may want to think twice. Now, what can we do now? First thing first, to break that habit, we have to get rid of any shape or form of bottle. There should be no water at your reach. When you're thirsty, it should prompt you to go to kitchen, grab a glass, fill it as much as you're pleased, and drink. Most people who have symptoms like indigestion, nausea, acid reflux, even if they are on medication for those conditions, gonna have much better control over the situation and symptoms.